Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It's Crafting Journey here. Not in the best of moods, but I'm here. So if you're not in a good mood, what do? You change your mood, right? So I started this show. This will be the third time. Um, Here's what I'm going to say about the first two times. Um, I always try to be real with you guys. I'm just going to say that between the vaccination yesterday and work, um, I am not in a good mood. I am not in a good mood. Uh, the I have clinical depression, and I'm treated, and for the most part, I'm good. Um, but sometimes I'm not. And I don't know if the vaccination had anything to do with it. I don't know if it's a combination of everything. But this was a very tearful morning, and I'm not going to start crying again. I'm just not. Um, so I said, you're not going to get that version of me. I deleted the first two takes. I didn't get very far anyway. Before I was, blowing my nose and slobbering. And, um, guys, it's some of you have this condition, and some days it can kick your ass. Some days it's like that. And today is one of those days, but I'm going to get through it, because I'm stronger than this. I am. I'm stronger. So it's already 9 a.m. This may be come out a little late today, but it's okay because you're going to get a better version of me. It's not that I'm not trying to be real with you guys. It's just that um, I'm trying to. I'm just trying to be better. So, um, nobody deserves to see all that. Anyway, so what I did was I'm going to delete that footage, and I went and I got some work done in my office. Answered some emails, and yeah, so I didn't even want to go to work today. I really didn't, because yesterday was just such a crappy day. The Joint Commission, for those of you who have never heard of Joint Commission, they are an accrediting body for hospitals, and they do inspections periodically. They're doing them now virtually, which I don't know how that's working, but I know when they used to come to the facility, it was like nobody had a good day. So they were doing a virtual inspection yesterday, come to find out, of the rehab hospital. Now, I don't talk about the rehab hospital very much because until yesterday, I didn't realize, well, I knew that it was part of what we govern, but I thought it was under the same tax ID as some of the other hospitals I've been doing work for. It is not. So I should have been doing separate work for them. In any case. So I'm remedying that today. So it's Inauguration Day. Yay, we got a new president. I'm so excited about that. Now that is something to smile about. Yes, it is. It is going to be a good day. So, when I looked up this day in history, it's like this person was inaugurated, and this person was inaugurated, and this person, because, February or January 20th is Inauguration Day. So every 4 years, somebody's inaugurated. So today will be Joe Biden. He will be our next president of the United States. And for those of you in other countries, probably not so exciting, but you have not lived under the regime of Donald Trump. Um, and I am so thankful that he is departing. I don't know what havoc he's going to wreak outside of the office. That remains to be seen, but that'll be 4 years of history that we would all just rather forget. Yeah. Uh, an embarrassment worldwide, an embarrassment. And I hope that this country can recover from that in due course. So I am painting Alice. We're back to Alice. Yes. I put away sledding into town. I really want to get that done, but it's just going to take a while. I've resigned myself to the fact that it's going to take a while because I don't solely diamond paint. I do other crafts. So yesterday, after this horrible day at work, and I stayed till the last second, till 4:30, and then I just couldn't take it anymore. I texted my boss. I said, I am leaving. If you need me, get me on my cell phone. And she sent me a big thumbs up. She's the best. She really is the best boss I've ever had. Um, she works very, very hard not to ever be negative to anybody, I love that about her. And I'm sure her day was much worse than mine was because she was in the thick of that um, virtual inspection, more so than I was. And I'm sure there were higher people higher than her that were breathing down her neck. I have been in her position. I know what she went through, and I don't envy her, and I feel bad for her. And I guess part of my angst yesterday was because I knew what she was going through. Um, so I do feel bad for her because it's there isn't anything more stressful than that. Because if you don't, uh, parts they can have when they're done with their virtual inspection, but when they're done with their inspection, this joint commission, they can issue, here's what we found, and you have X amount of time to remedy it. And there's different levels of what they find. Now, if they find something very serious, it could put your hospital out of business. Um, Now, what was going on in our department yesterday, I would not label as serious. It is something that needs to be addressed, um, and I'm addressing it. I'm going to help with the solution. So, and we'll move forward. It's not going to happen again. so, so then I come home and later than normal, but I decide I'm going to just have a lean cuisine for dinner. Meatloaf, my favorite. Meatloaf and mashed potatoes. Comfort food. Yes, of course. Uh, so I put that in to cook, and I feed the dogs, and then I sat down and watched the news, and I worked on my loom. I did 2 rows on the loom. I told you guys I do every other day. I do 2 rows on the loom. Same color. We're still in that 20 to 40 degree low range. It's only been outside of that range one time the entire year, 20 days. So right now we have a rose colored blanket and it's beautiful. Um, Now the other temperature blanket, I think today is projected to be a little warmer, so I probably will. I didn't do yesterday's row yet, so I have to do yesterday's row. Then I have to, today's row will probably be a warmer row. So I'm not really behind, but I just did not, after did the loom, I put it down, didn't pick anything else up. Didn't diamond paint, didn't crochet. Now, what the heck did I do? I don't know. You know, Malia called me, Grandma, how are you? And I told her, I got my vaccination, and she's like, "Oh, does Dad know?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know if your dad knows, but I told him I was going to get a vaccination." Um, so and I can tell you that the only side effect yesterday that I felt was extremely tired. I was so tired, like yawning and I can't even say the word. Oh, yawning. But that's terrible. Oh, there's a FedEx truck. I went for my yarn for my Lion brand. Some people are still waiting for their temperature blanket yarn. What the heck? Um, yeah. So I'm waiting for some Lion brand yarn, and I'm waiting for some yarn from Hobie for some more hooded scarves. Um, yeah, interesting. I guess the FedEx truck must have gone the other way. It didn't come this way. Um, but yesterday in the mail, oh, this is so cute. I ordered these tags. These are going to go on the hooded scarves that I sell. And they say, I don't know how many I ordered. I don't know. There's more than 10 here. Maybe I ordered 20. I don't remember. But they say, made with love by Crafting Journey. Look. I don't know if you can see it. So the idea is you put it on the edge of the hat and you fold it over. So it says the same thing on both sides of the hat. Made with love by Crafting Journey. Isn't that pretty? And I got these off of Etsy. They are custom. How cute. So if you end up buying a hooded scarf, you're going to get it's going to say made with love by Crafting Journey on it. Isn't that cute? So that was my mail that was waiting for me when I got home. I think they're adorable. I wish I had a logo to put on them, but Rachel from Treasure Studios, she has promised me a logo, and I don't know. Someday I'll get it. She's so busy. I think she's on vacation right now. So, whatever. I'm okay. Yeah. Anyway, so I said to Malia, I'm going to bed early. Grandma, it's like 6:30. I know, Malia, but there goes FedEx. Oh, they did drive by. They did a drive by. Okay. I said, but I'm tired. I'm really tired. So I go to bed. I play my Animal Crossing for a little while. I play this other game that it's called Dawn of Titans. I play that on my iPad, and by then it's like 8 o'clock. I watch a little bit of The Bachelor from Monday night, and what the heck is that? I'm sorry, I'm really squirreling out today. Actually, because there is a squirrel, and he has like an orange face. That's pretty interesting. Huh. I know. It's just like nature is happening out here. It looks like an episode of The Birds. There's like birds everywhere. These big birds. I don't know what they are. They're black, and they're just all over the empty lot of the church. So, I don't know what they're eating, something in the grass, but I don't know what, because I don't know. Maybe they're just eating the grass. I don't know. Anyway, so what color do I need now? Let's all right, let's do this color. Yes, so it's nice to be back to color blocking here. I'm working on Alice's dress here in this section, and then I've got some area of the door, the fairy door. The doorknob here is red, and I want to look and see if I have any maybe some sparklers or something in this kind of color to put on the door instead of these, but I'll have to look. Yeah. So, today is National Cheese Day. So, did you guys know that there are 1,400 kinds of cheese? I did not know that. I am not very well versed in cheeses, apparently. I thought I was, but I am not. Now, here are my favorites. I like cheddar, sharp cheddar. I like sharp cheddar. Depending on the situation, I like medium cheddar too. So, medium and sharp cheddar. I love, what is it called? Um, I like Swiss cheese, but then there's another kind of Swiss cheese. I'll see. Now, what is it? Uh, Havarti. Oh, Havarti is so good. It's soft and it's delicious on sandwiches. I like provolone, mozzarella. The typical things we think of Italian cheeses, Romano, Parmesan. But there's some that I've, never even heard of, obviously, because there's 1,400. Like brie. I don't like brie. So, what is your favorite kind of cheese? Absolute favorite. Mine would have to be Havarti. I Now, like I said, clearly I have not tried all of the cheeses. They say like you could celebrate National Cheese Day by going to a cheesemonger, which I'm assuming a cheesemonger is somebody that specializes in all of the cheeses, and I think that would be fun. Like to go on like maybe a wine and cheese little tasting thing. Not for the wine, but for the cheese. I'm not a huge fan of wine, but um, like I would love to do a cheese tasting so I can sort of maybe expand my knowledge on cheeses. I do love cheese. Now they say that like mascarpone and cream cheese are the heaviest in fat. And then the lowest in fat is cottage cheese and I forget the other one. And I do enjoy like small curd, low fat cottage cheese with fruit. For lunch, I enjoy that. Like a half a cup of cottage cheese with some pineapple or some peaches is delicious. It is. I always forget that cottage cheese is cheese, but yes, cottage cheese is cheese. So what the way cheese is made is, you let milk go sour and then you separate the ingredients. And what people used to do is they would store their milk in the stomach of goats and it would separate. And then they would add salt to preserve it. Now, I don't know the logistics of all of this because I don't want to know. Actually, I'd like to find a show on how cheese is made. That would be interesting. And I'm sure there's a show out there or a YouTube thing out there. But anyway, I had talked to Mickey yesterday and we were going to both have Tostitos pizza last night where I add extra mozzarella and a little Parmesan sprinkled on the top. But then when I got home, I was like, nope, I'm having lean cuisine, mashed potatoes, and meatloaf. I needed some comfort food after the day that I had. Now, so, fast forward to the evening, I did go to sleep early. Like, I was asleep by 10 o'clock, I'm sure of it. But then I had like the weirdest dreams. Really weird. And I don't know if that's the vaccine or the day that I had or a combination of both. But like at one point, I don't know what it was, but it woke me up and I remember being afraid, fearful of a noise or something, but I went right back to sleep. And then at 2 o'clock in the morning, Jake woke me up because he was ready for bed at that point. Jake doesn't go to bed until he's ready. And he can't get in the bed by himself. I have to get up and put him in the bed. Um, and I have stairs, little doggy stairs. He won't do them. He's old. He doesn't want nothing to do with them stairs anymore. He wants mommy to get up and put him in the bed. But then early morning, I'm dreaming of very vividly because I even remember, I was running away from something and I don't know what, and my father was going with me, and my kids were young, Ryan and Raina were, you know, maybe not young, but I'm going to say Raina was probably 5 or 6, and Ryan was 9 or 10 in this dream, and they were going along for the ride, and we were packing up stuff, and I kept telling my dad that we were just visiting, but I knew that he knew that I was running away from something, but I wasn't going to tell him about it until we were on the road. So weird. I think I've been watching too much originals. Vampire Diaries originals. Maybe I've been watching too much of that stuff. I didn't watch any of it last night. Did not watch. I watched some of The Bachelor. That show, I'm telling you, I don't know why I keep watching it. The Bachelor's gorgeous, but it's just not a good show anymore. It's just not. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's, clearly they're quarantined, but what they did was they just decided to get the biggest resort that they could find that looks like a mansion type resort, but they don't ever leave this resort, obviously. In the older editions of The Bachelor, when there was no COVID, they would go to other countries and you would see them doing these interesting things, and now they just don't ever leave the grounds of this mansion/resort. I don't even know where they're at. I really don't. But there's like goats running around. I don't know. They did the same thing with the Bachelorette last season. They were at this resort in Arizona, La Quinta. Yeah, the Bachelor gets this beautiful mansion, and the Bachelorette gets La Quinta. Yeah. Yes. A motel. Anyway, poor Bachelorette. Anyway, they always find someone to love. They fall in love at the end. Last night, somebody fainted and everybody's jealous because the girl that fainted got more attention than everybody else, and how that's not right, and oh, blah, blah, blah. I didn't watch the whole thing. I was like, this is dumb. Why am I watching this? So that was the extent of television last night. I don't know. Maybe I should not have gone to bed so early. Maybe that's why I was like having these weird dreams. So let's talk about this day in history. Like when I looked up this day in history, it was just inaugurations. This one was inaugurated, this guy was inaugurated, and this guy was inaugurated. So I wanted to talk about a little bit about FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He served as president 4 times. So on his 4th inauguration, I just all of a sudden felt very nauseous. One second. Okay, this was January 20th, 1945. He decides, first of all, he's not feeling well. He really isn't. So he decides, because, they're in the middle of World War II, that this is not the time for marching bands and celebrations. So he moves the inauguration away from the Capitol to the White House. And it's literally 15 minutes, the inauguration. That's it. No floats, no bands, no parades, no gala celebration, where you put on a beautiful gown. He just came out. He you could tell he was not feeling well. He had to have people help him up to the podium. Um, and he made like the quickest speech in history. The acceptance speech. And it was very shortly after this that Congress passed an amendment that you could only serve 2 terms. But FDR he died within a couple of months after this inauguration. I mean, he really was on his last leg. And I think he knew it. I think he knew he was dying. He did say that, this was no time for celebration because of the World War. But I think he knew that, he was dying. So, I mean, it's an interesting story to, you know, Congress had appropriated $25,000 that he could spend on his inauguration. He spent 2,000. It's like, nope, we're not having a big celebration. And I admire that. It was his 4th term, and he just said, there's no need. There's just really no need. There was no crowd there. They said, if you took a picture from far away, it would look like salt and pepper because there just really was no crowd at this inauguration. Let's see what else I can tell you about it. It says the president addressed his fellow Americans as his right arm and body trembled from the strain of standing. He said, "You will understand and I believe agree with my wish that the form of this inauguration be simple and its words brief. We Americans of today, together with our allies, are passing through a period of supreme test. It is a test of our courage, of our resolve, of our wisdom, of our essential democracy." And basically, that was the inauguration. You're in. You're the president again. So, the other thing that happened this day in history that I thought was interesting was, during President Carter's office, his presidential his days in office. In Iran, some Iranian students they were protesting and they took over the American embassy in Tehran. So, and they took hostages. So what they did was the government took over the hostages. The Ayatollah Khomeini took over the hostages and kept them hostage for 444 days. And they were released on the day of the inauguration of the next president, which was Ronald Reagan. They did not like Jimmy Carter. The negotiations between Jimmy Carter and Iran just were not going well to get these prisoners released. Now, some of the hostages were released during that period of time. They released some of the women that were black because they said, you're already, suppressed by your government. We don't need to add to your suppression anymore. So they ended up with a number of, I forget how many hostages there were ultimately, because a lot of people were released along the way. But, Carter went in and he tried to rescue them. He took some troops and he tried to rescue them, and the helicopter ran into a plane and 8 U.S. soldiers died. It was just a disaster. Nobody got rescued. And Iran tried to make a point that, they didn't like Carter. So on the day of Ronald Reagan's inauguration, right after his, 40 minutes after his speech, they released the hostages. Interesting. But Carter goes over to greet the hostages. He flies over to welcome them home. I thought it was interesting. Just an interesting day in history. So I got through the show without crying, which I can't say for take 1 and 2. And I'm in a better mood. See, it works. If you decide that you're going to change your mood, you can do it. Um, yeah. So now I have to go to work again. I hope that inspection's over. I hope I'm not going to have a day like I had yesterday because that would not be good. At least I'm not in the office. I'm at home today, so I can walk away from the computer. Yeah. Uh, yeah. hmm So, guys, let me know what's your favorite cheese. Don't forget, I put out part 1 of the Treasure Studios Arts unboxing. If I have time today to work on editing this part 2, I'll try to get that up for you guys. Part 2 is the other 2 paintings that I received. It was a buy 2, get 1 free deal for Pink Friday. It could have been Cyber Monday. I don't remember. I thought it was Pink Friday. I don't know. Anyway, guys, have a great day. It is Wednesday, garbage day here in the U.S. on my street. Because it's all about me, right? Thank you guys for coming. I will see you tonight. Oh, little update on tonight. Shalene had a family emergency and will not be able to make Craft with Me Wednesday. We're not going to do our buddy color. We're going to try to reschedule it for next month, February 17th. Let's hope. So I have another special guest that's going to come on, and she is going to color with me, and you're never going to guess who it is because you've never seen her color. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Now, she doesn't have an Alice in Wonderland coloring book, but that is okay. But we will be coloring in Craft With Me Wednesday. Get your coloring book out. This person that's going to be on with me, she's going to get hers out. So let's do some coloring. I'll see you this afternoon. Bye, everybody. Take care.